Often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show under the world of outlaws.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's race here tonight. Chase race number 1. I repeat, chase race number 1. And this is with the Extreme Motorsports99.com Camping World Truck Series. Tonight we have a special treat to open up the chase, the Fred's Pharmacy 250. That's a Fred's Pharmacy 250 at Talladega Super Speedway. I'm your commentator Sean Zulu, and joining me up in the Dre Broadcasting booth is David Everly. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. How you doing, Sean?
I am doing good too, thank you. Just excited to open up a new chapter here. The last 5 races here in the chase. Well, this is race number 1, all 5 in the chase series, as last week we were able to close off the chapter being the regular race season. Speaking of last week, we're going to talk about the Toyota Save Mart 350. That's a Toyota Save Mart 350 at Watkins Glen. In that race, Hunter McDaniel brought it home for his second win of the season. Ethan Kurtz came out second. Christian DeFalco came out third. Curtis Vollmer came out 4th. We had Greg Bradshaw come out 5th. Bryce Whitson Jr. 6th. Tyler Holman 7th. Vern Bradley 8th. Ken Ladd 9th. And Dakota Craig did round up the top 10. And ladies and gentlemen, last week's race once again was the final race of the regular race season before the chase. And so therefore rounding up the points with the drop week added, because in the regular race season Extreme does add 1 drop week in the truck series. So Curtis Vollmer ended up in 1st place in points, Bobby Tinch 2nd, Adam Eisenhower 3rd, Cody McFadden 4th, Tommy Haynes 5th, Hunter McDaniel 6th, Zachary Kreiser 7th, Dakota Craig 8th, Marty Ray 9th, and Tommy Massey in the 10th place position. So final top 10 of regular race season that was, and the points will be resetting here once we get the chase race number 1 done here tonight at Talladega Super Speedway. And ladies and gentlemen, type it up in the chat so you guys let us know that you are there. Let us know what's on your mind. Let us know how excited you are about tonight's race. And going to tonight's race here at Talladega Super Speedway, what are we dealing with, Dave?
Well, taking a look at the weather, it's going to be 78 degrees with 104 track temperature, wind out of the north at 2 miles an hour under partly cloudy conditions.
And the drivers are accompanied by a 50% fuel limit, that is 50%. So we should expect to see some pit stops, because these drivers are required to pit in at least twice in order to be able to make it the full length of the way here tonight. 80 laps, that is 80 laps. And since this is the chase, ladies and gentlemen, just a few details about the chase. The drivers, in order for them to be able to qualify for the chase, they have to be top 12 in points, and that's actually subtracts the winners, because the winners here do automatically get locked into the chase. So for example, if 6 drivers won who were not in the top 20 in points, or say top 12 in points, they will end up taking the 6 winners and 6 in the top 6 in the points. So that is 6 winners and the top 6. So 12 drivers in points, and also 1 driver who did not make the chase but made all races and who had the cleanest driving record at the same time, was top 20 in points, gets selected to be in the chase. Well, with that said, the drivers here locked into the chase, the road to the championship. That's the road to the championship, here to dethrone 6 of Tom Wetmore, Hunter McDaniel, Curtis Vollmer, Tommy Haynes, Tyler Holman, Bryce Whitson Jr., Cody McFadden, Rick Donathan, Bobby Tinch, Adam Eisenhower, Dakota Craig, Marty Ray, Tommy Massey, and Gary Woolbot. I'm going to read that again. Hunter McDaniel, Curtis Vollmer, Tommy Haynes, Tyler Holman, Bryce Whitson Jr., Cody McFadden, Rick Donathan, Bobby Tinch, Adam Eisenhower, Dakota Craig, Marty Ray, and Tommy Massey, including Gary Woolbot. And Gary Woolbot here in for the cleanest driving record. We commend this driver. It had been a very, very challenging season for a lot of drivers, everybody out there actually. So we hope to get a word in with Gary Woolbot. It has been a while. And looking there in the chat, I'm going to give a lot of shout outs. So if you have not yet already, please type it up. Say something. Going to go all the way to the top here in this chat. We have Joshua Gillen. Joshua Gillen, great to see you, buddy. You missed, you were not there last night, but you are going to be here tonight in the track series. It is great to see you. Pat T, always a pleasure. Hope you're doing well tonight as well. Harrison 907, let's go, number 23. Number 23 here being, I forget the name of that. That's Jim Kelly. Yep, Jim Kelly in the 23. Further down this list, we have Pac-Man. Welcome back, Pac-Man. Hope you're doing well. And you too, Harrison. Let's see who else is in this chat. We have Bryce Whitson Jr. Hope you're doing well, Bryce Whitson Jr. He is in the chase as well. We look forward to you battling these boys for that championship. Well, we hope you're doing well, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to see every single one of you. And welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network for the new viewers out there. But the grid is now ready here, and our post-hitter tonight is the 2 of Ethan Kurtz. Curtis Vollmer second. Chris Voyo's last night's winner in the Pro K&N Series starting third. The 07 of Christian DeFalco fourth. Bryce Whitson Jr. fifth. We have Jason Eisenhower sixth. Garrett Robinson 7th, Hunter McDaniel 8th, Ken Ladd 9th, and Joshua Gillen in the 10th place spot, rounding up the top 10. 66 of Bobby Tinch 11th, the 77 of Tyler Harmon 12th, the 7 of Gary Woolbot in this chase 13th, 17 of Tommy Haynes starting 14th, the 69 of Kerry Cleaver 15th, the 18 of Rick Donathan 16th, the 81 of Travis Pryor 17th, the 05 of Tommy M. Massey 18th, the 4 of Brent Kuo 19th, and Dakota Craig in the 20th place position. And the last driver qualifying here, she doesn't seem like the last driver. That's going to be 98 of Dakota Craig, 20th. We have Jim Kelly, 21st. Greg Bradshaw, we have starting 22nd. I just got jumbled up. So Greg Bradshaw, Marty Ray, Chris Thorman, Andy Starcher, Adam Eisenhower, Cody McFadden, Timothy Hamlet, David White, Garrett Helmlinger. These drivers rounding out the rest of the field here tonight. And the drivers now rolling, being led by the post-hitter up front, the 2 of Ethan Kurtz. And we have Tama S in the chat. Tama S, hope you're doing well tonight. It is great to see you again. We have Travis Pryor as well in the chat. Good to see you there, Travis. Look forward to an amazing performance on your part here tonight as usual. And Michelle Eisenhower in the chat. Welcome back, Michelle. It has been a while. Hope you're doing well. And ladies and gentlemen, it's about to be a heck of a show. That is a heck of a show. Put on those seatbelts, get the popcorn ready, get those drinks ready. It will be quite the ride here tonight. These drivers running all the way from 49-second lap times to about 50-51 seconds, depending on the draft and how bunched up these guys get. This is all about that teamwork, ladies and gentlemen. In order for the drivers to be successful, it's all about the teamwork. Without the teamwork, nothing will be accomplished. And the drivers getting bunched up nice and tight, nice and strong for 80 laps. That is 80 laps. The Fred's Pharmacy 250 Chase race number 1. Well, exiting turn 4 this time around, the leader does control the start of the pace of the field. At the same time, the pace car does dip off. Ethan Kurtz holding that pace speed. Curtis Vollmer right beside him here, side by side in a CarMax machine. Looks like he's waiting for the green flag to fly here. Yep, and that green flag is out this time around. Drag race up front, 48 of Curtis Vollmer to Ethan Kurtz. 28 of Chris Voyles already on the rear end of the 2 of Ethan Kurtz. This is lap 1, turn 1, chase race number 1, the Fred's Pharmacy 250. Here as we see the inside getting more bunched up, 07 of Christian DeFalco chops the nose off of the 1 of Garrett Robinson. No harm done on the outside line. 48 of Curtis Vollmer left out high and dry. It will get worse for him before it gets better. And so far hoping for a helping bumper to come up to his rear end. And yes, his wish is coming true. 36 of Jason Eisenhower here in this mix behind him. 48 of Vollmer trying to go back down to the inside, but nope, it is too late. He decides to stay high. 57 of Hunter McDaniel on the inside line. 40 of Joshua Gillen on the outside line. 3rd place on the outside, but so far the outside seems to be struggling as we speak.
Yeah, it usually takes a lap or 2 to really warm up, so these guys will be working that outside line, but it will come into play here later on as they work their way around the track here. So got a little bit of time, just takes a little patience to get some rubber down on that outside lane. Then we'll be having some exciting 2-3 wide action before long.
And as you were saying that, the inside had a very, very big checkup. Drivers letting off the gas, hitting those brakes, and that allowed 48 of Curtis Vollmer to get back side by side with Hunter McDaniel. And here we have 66 of Bobby Tinch. Bobby Tinch as well here in this mix, in this chase. Hunter McDaniel jumps up to the outside and takes over the lead of the outside line with the help of the 48 of Curtis Vollmer. The speed is getting nothing but higher, nothing but greater, and up front, the 10 of Bryce Whitson Jr. jumps there up high to get the outside line going as well. But look at that, Dave. Hunter McDaniel saying, nope, I am not going to push 10 of Bryce Whitson Jr. Jumps up to go 3 wide, but 48 of Curtis Vollmer saying, nope. He goes back into the middle lane. 36 of Jason Eisenhower goes up high. He's going to get left out high and dry. Yes, he is. He will. He's going from about 10th place to the back of the pack in a hurry. Actually, he was fortunate enough to fall back in line behind Hunter McDaniel and ahead of the 17 of Tommy Haynes. And so far, these drivers very, very bunched up. We have the top 26, actually top 23 drivers about 1.8 seconds within each other's draft. These guys are very bunched up, and as usual, some drivers already falling back off the pace on purpose to try and stay out of trouble. Namely, we have Cody McFadden leading a pack of his own with the 19 of Andy Starcher, 59 of David White, Adam Eisenhower, Timothy Hamlet, and Garrett Helmlinger, making this a 6-track pack. And we saw it last night in the Pro K&N series, how the drivers who did that ended up benefiting greatly, because at one point we had quite a big wreck, which, you know, the drivers who fell back on purpose to try and, you know, stay out of trouble had enough reaction time to keep their machines clean. And that was very, very beneficial. And here tonight, 29 drivers starting tonight's race with 90. That's the 9-0 of Garrett Helmlinger being the last driver in the pack, for the back in the pack.
Yeah, going up front here, though, Bryce Whitson Jr., he's the new leader on that bottom lane, but he's got to watch because you got some hungry drivers up on top there looking at that Toyota. But they're starting to make that outside lane work there as it's being led by the 57 there of Hunter McDaniel. So that outside lane's starting to come into a play here as we're seeing a little bit of shuffling here as guys go from high, low, but here comes Hunter McDaniel. He's got Curtis Vollmer all over that back bumper there. This Curtis Vollmer is just all over that bumper.
Yep, and the 40 of Joshua Gillen being a helping hand helping bumper to the 48 of Curtis Vollmer and the 57 of Hunter McDaniel at the exact same time. And a new driver in this mix, 77 of Tyler Hallman, new to the top 10. He did start in the 12th place spot and currently running 9th, 4th place in line. And the outside line, the top 4 drivers on the outside, going all the way high on the backstretch to try and get that Q line. That means them scrubbing the tires less, exiting the turn by having less wheel input to try and benefit themselves at the exact same time, to try and avoid the inside line getting the draft off their bumpers. And 66 of Bobby Tinch on the is next in line. 81 Travis Pryor. We have the 18 of Rick Donathan, 11 of Ken Ladd as well in this mix. And there in the chat we have Johnny Miranda. Hope you're doing well, Johnny. And Johnny is here for the 48 of Curtis Vollmer. And at 23 of Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly usually runs the Budweiser blue machine, but he has changed that up. He is running a new blue machine, and that is the Advanced Simulation Productions.com. That's Advanced Simulation Products.com, actually. Yep, Advanced Simulation Products.com. Chevy Silverado. That is well dressed as well, as usual.
You know, every time I hear you say Jim Kelly, I think back to the Buffalo Bills quarterback.
Indeed. I wouldn't know that, though. I would not know that, surprisingly.
Yeah, he had a couple chances of winning the Super Bowls, but couldn't do it. But, yeah, he's looking good in that blue and white machine, definitely.
And he's side by side with the Hino machine. That's the 65 of Marty Ray in the Toyota Tundra behind the 86 of Adam Eyes. Actually, that's the wrong machine. The 05 of Tommy M. Massey, who in turn is behind 69 of Kerry Cleaver. But the outside line right now, 3 wide, 81 of Travis Pryor with the help of the 11 of Ken Ladd, trying to make the outside line work. We have here in the middle lane on their inside, we have 66 of Bobby Tinch and the 28 of Chris Voiles, including the 07 of Christian DeFalco.
Yeah, Travis Pryor, he's trying that third lane there as we got a little bit 3 wide. He's only got 1 truck behind him, so he's got to hope Ken Ladd, maybe a couple other drivers will get up there and help him. As it looks like there's some drivers that are trying to drive 2 lanes there to keep that third lane from getting a good run on them in the middle.
Yep, great strategy indeed. And the best bet for these 2 drivers on the high side, 81 of Travis Pryor and 11 of Ken Ladd, is to hope and wish that the inside pushers, or the middle lane and inside pushers, starts to overheat. Namely, 48 of Curtis Vollmer and the 1 of Garrett Robinson. And ladies and gentlemen, this brings me to a point. These drivers cannot push for too long. 48 of Curtis Vollmer and 1 of Garrett Robinson. They do have to back off every now and then to avoid the cool air, to get into those radiators, to get into those motors, to avoid overheating and hearing those big loud booms. And also last night in the Pro K&N machines, we saw the outside line was struggling to get formed in these early stages of runs. But here with the trucks, they do draft way differently, so it is a lot easier to get packs going here. And as we speak, the outside line does seem to be dying, and this is because 48 of Curtis Vollmer is overheating.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened. What happened to the 11 of Ken Ladd? He was right there on the back bumper of Travis Pryor. But it looks like he has fallen back here. See if I can see where he is going. But he's dropped all the way back here to 23rd. Not sure if maybe he made contact with a wall. But he is way off pace and outside of the draft.
Oh man, yep, I went to look at what happened, and what happened was he ended up drifting way too high on the exit of turn 2 and kissed the wall with the right side. And as we scan that machine, he does have some damage on the right front of the machine. And yep, he's way under speed, doing about 176 mph maximum speed entering turn number 3. And at this point, he's hoping that the pack catches up to him, and the pack being led by 59 of David White, including Adam Eisenhower Howard, Timothy Hamlet, Andy Starcher, Cody McFadden, including Garrett Helmlinger. These guys are coming up to him at a very, very fast rate. So hopefully they have enough time to pick him up so he can be able to get back behind them or get behind them and catch their draft. And at the same time, Dave, with the damage Ken Ladd sustained, we always know having damage on a track like this, Talladega or Daytona, is never a good thing.
Yeah, most definitely. But look at up there. Looks like got a couple guys there. Travis Pryor running. Sorry about that noise, but he's running there. Fourth in the outside there. So you got Maverick Motorsports up here running as Bryce Whitson leading the inside. Here coming on 13 laps completed. 68 laps remaining.
Yep, the race is still young, ladies and gentlemen. Here in about, this is now lap 13, like David talked about. And the pit window is going to be from lap 20 to 24. So green flag pit stops should kick in here in the next 10 to 12 laps. So fingers crossed for that. Fingers crossed. And we talked about how here at the Super Speedway, teamwork is very, very important. So before the green flag pit stops kick in, we're going to be seeing a lot of drivers getting more single file, trying to find their teammates, trying to find their partners, to try and be in the right place at the right time, at the same time, to be in the best spots. And some drivers so far just riding, letting off the gas. The 18 of Rick Donathan. Rick Donathan has the 7 of Gary Woobot right behind him. And these two drivers, Woobot and Donathan, are both locked into this chase. They are racing. They are on the path and the road to the championship, dethroning the 6 of Tom Wetmore. And yes, we are going to have a new champion by the end of this season, ladies and gentlemen. And also, this brings me to one more point. This being Chase Race number 1, the Chase Series, the 5-race Chase Series. That means we are coming to the close of the season, ladies and gentlemen, of all series with the Extreme Motorsports 99. So with that said, sign-ups are opening. So if you guys would like to be a part of the action, if you'd like to be a driver behind the wheel or the wheels of one of these machines, check them out. ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Drop the first E in Extreme and start with the X. ExtremeMotorsports99.com. And for the new viewers out there, to give you guys a summary of what Extreme Motorsports has to offer. On Monday nights, they have both a road series and a Pro K&N series. That's road series and Pro K&N series. On Tuesday nights, truck series. Wednesday nights, Xfinity series. And Thursday nights, a Cup series. And they do place you in different series based on how much experience you have. So you can pretty much view the Pro K&N series as a stepping stone or the beginner class, while the Cup series on Thursday nights is the best of the best, the most experienced drivers. So once again, ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Well, here on the outside line, we have the 69 of Kerry Cleaver. Kerry Cleaver had some bad luck last night. He ended up speeding on pit road under green flag conditions in the Pro K&N series and had to pay the price. But right now, here he is determined to have a better race than he did last night. And he has his foot down to the floor behind his teammate, the 28 of Chris Voiles with Bandit Motorsports.
Yeah, but we have another pack here. Let's see, it's going to be led here. Well, kind of a couple cars here getting off the lead off the pace. 71 Chris Thorman, Brent Cole. And then we have a pack still being led by David White. It's got Adam Eisenhower, Timothy Hamlet, Andy Starcher, Cody McFadden, Garrett Helmlinger, and Ken Ladd hit back here. But these guys are almost 20 seconds back from the leader.
Oh man, if this thing ends up going green all the way, those guys will be screwed. Well, basically, ladies and gentlemen, them being in the back of the pack like that, you know, it's a good strategy. If they're expecting to have a few cautions here and there. But when it goes green, when the race goes green, if it stays green all race long, those guys will be in the worst spots possible. There's no way to make up that much time because this pack up front is way bigger. The bigger the pack, the stronger it is. Basically, the more speed they'll have, the more momentum they carry. And it is very difficult to counter that if you have a small pack. In the case of David White and the drivers behind him, Adam Eisenhower, Timothy Hamlet, Andy Starcher, Cody McFadden, and Garrett Helmlinger. And also Ken Ladd. Yeah, looking at Ken Ladd. Ken Ladd was able to tag along in that pack. He is pushing about 190 miles per hour, same as Garrett Helmlinger. And looks like Garrett Helmlinger is actually backing up to keep Ken Ladd in his draft. Because once again, Ken Ladd's machine is damaged. As a result, the top end is not where it should be. So that's great sportsmanship, great teamwork by Garrett Helmlinger. And now with 18 laps in, ladies and gentlemen, green flag, pit stops about to kick in. So fingers crossed for that. And absolutely, Pat, they are running very, very tight together. You know, at this point, you do not want anyone to sneeze, because if they do sneeze, it just might be the end of it. And in such situations, going 190 plus miles per hour, and knowing that the field depends on you, because you are controlling the pace of the field as a leader. In the case of Bryce Whitson Jr. and the 48 of Curtis Vollmer, they know if they make a mistake, it could be deadly. It could mean the whole entire field. And on the outside line, the 40 of Joshua Gillen still doing the Q line on the exit of turn number 2 through turn 3, with the 48 of Curtis Vollmer, and so far 81 Travis Pryor, Hunter McDaniel, Garrett Robinson, including Bryce Whitson Jr. 4 machines on the inside line, bunched up very nice and tight, including the 2 of Ethan Kurtz, and also the 07 of DeFalco. And Dave, we're seeing a lot of single file. That only means one thing.
Oh, we got a big wreck right up front. Bryce Whitson, Curtis Vollmer involved there. As we saw it live, we are going to go back onto the Dre Broadcasting Instant Replay. We are going to focus on the 48 of Curtis Vollmer. That was a big wreck here. A lot of trucks involved. As we were going to watch this live on the Dre Broadcasting, looks like maybe a bad hook between the 40 and 48. Travis Pryor involved. Curtis Vollmer goes rolling. But Bryce Whitson Jr., we are going to have to go on the cockpit there with Bryce Whitson Jr. because he really went for a roll here. So let me see if I can find him here. As we are watching the cockpit view here of Bryce Whitson Jr., unfortunately, he was tagged in it, but man, he went for a roll. You know, 190 mile an hour is what he was hitting when he hit that wall. So he went for a barrel roll and eventually coming to rest on his wheels.
Oh man, that was very, very unfortunate, and some serious airtime, both on the broadcast and literally. But hope he's. The good thing is he still has that one backup truck. We forgot to mention that early on. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, as usual, throughout the whole entire season, the drivers have had one backup truck, one quick fix, one fast repair. So he'll be able to get back out there before too long, in no time, with a brand new machine. But the only downside to that, he'll be at least 1 lap down, 1 or 2 laps down. So he'll be working very, very hard once the green flag flies the next time around to get that lap back the hard way. But up front, we are being led by the 1 of Garrett Robinson, Ethan Kurtz 2nd, Christian DeFalco 3rd, Rick Donovan 4th, and Chris Voiles in the 5th place spot. As the 1 of Garrett Robinson, the new leader, leads everybody down pit road. And a new viewer in the chat, that's Tristan Walker. Tristan Walker, hope you're doing well there, buddy. And your question, yeah, here at Extreme, once they pass a certain point in the season, they do stop taking registration on new members. So like we talked about there, I'm not sure if you probably just came in, but we're coming to the end of the season, the seasons, with the Extreme Motorsports Series. So here before too long, registration will open up again. So just stay tuned for that. So once again, ExtremeMotorsports99.com. And thanks for watching. Welcome. Well, looks like Christian DeFalco, the 07, takes over the race lead. He did go down pit road. Two-tire hero Bobby Tinch coming out second. Two-tire hero as well. But the one of Garrett Robinson, who was leading going down pit road, comes out third off pit road after having a four-tire pit stop. But also Robinson was got a piece of the action that brought out the caution. As a result, he does have some right front damage, some actually front end damage and right front damage on that machine. And something tells me he will feel that once we go back to green flag conditions. And status check on the 48 of Curtis Vollmer. Curtis Vollmer going down pit road. The machine has blown up. It has no motor. It is trying to crawl. It is pushing about 25 miles per hour and dropping. And a new viewer in the chat. New viewers. Mr. Bimo, welcome to Dre Broadcasting Network there, mister. And including MH. KNZ, welcome to Dre Broadcasting Network. Hope you guys are doing well. Man, hopefully Curtis Vollmer will be able to make it into his pit stall. But so far it's not looking too promising for him. He's now doing less than 20 miles per hour. And his pit stall is way up there because he did qualify in second place position. And the two of Ethan Kurtz. Ethan Kurtz currently being shown in the 26th place position, deciding to not use his backup tracker's quick fix just yet. He's trying to save that machine, or that new one, for a rainy day, in case he gets worse damage later on before the race ends. Because, ladies and gentlemen, the race is still young. 58 laps remaining, and 22 laps complete, or 23 laps complete. And the lights and pace car are still turned on. So this gives us time for one interview. So coming up. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's interview the 7 of Gary Woolbot. Well, ladies and gentlemen, joining us up here in the Dre Broadcasting booth is the 7 of Gary Woolbot. Good go up there, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Oh, I survived that crash somehow, so Lucky 7 came through for me.
Oh, man. Yep, that was a heck of a drive on your part, avoiding that wreck. And, man, that Budweiser machine has been looking good all night long tonight, all race long this far. Currently being shown in the 4th place spot after starting in that 13th place position. And, Gary, you are locked into this chase. We want to congratulate you on that. What are your plans for tonight?
Well, I finished 4th place in the K&Ns last night here, so I would take it to 4th place in the trucks tonight also, but boy, I tell you, there's a bunch of fast people behind me. It's going to be tough.
Oh, man, indeed. And Gary, man, we know this track is all about the speed. It's all about the draft. With that said, do you have anybody you're hoping to bring to victory lane with, or come to victory lane with?
Yeah, we got a group of about 6 drivers and Team Misfits in the main channel and TeamSpeak. We're got a pretty good strategy going, so it should be fun at the end. Got a group of really fast drivers. Tommy Massey, Brent Cole, I think, who else is in here? I can't remember, but got a good group of guys in Team Misfits.
Oh, 10-4, man, that is we're very glad to hear about that. With that said, man, the sky is the limit. Or it's not even that you can go way past that. We are hopeful that you'll be able to bring this thing home. First win with a chase race number 1. Well, Gary, looking good out there. Make us proud as usual, and see you in victory lane.
Yep, we'll try to keep it clean and have a good finish.
That was a 7 of Gary Woolbot, currently in the 4th place spot. He is here in this chase. and the Budweiser machine has never looked better. And now we are back 1 to green, being led by our new leader, the 07 of Christian DeFalco, with the help of the 1 of Garrett Robinson, who has damage on his machine. So we're going to see exactly how that plays out. On the outside line, we are being led by another chase driver, 66 of Bobby Tinch, with the help of the 7 of Gary Woolbot. And so far, heaviest movers being Bobby Tinch from 11th place to 2nd, Gary Woolbot from 13th to 4th, Rick Donathan from 16th to 6th, Jim Kelly 21st to 7th. We have the 65 of Marty Ray from 22nd to 9th, Dakota Craig from 20th to 11th, Tommy M. Massey from 18th to 13th. We also have Brent Quo 19th to 14th, 81 Travis Pryor from 17th to 15th, Chris Thorman 23rd to 17th, Adam Eisenhower 25th to 18th, also David White 28th to 19th, Garrett Helmlinger 29th to 20th, and Timothy Hamlet from 27th to 21st. Well, we are going green this time around, as the Pacers is going to be dipping off before too long. And status check, we have the 10 of Bryce Whitson Jr. 2 laps down, unfortunately. Going to be racing hard with Kerry Cleaver, who as well is 2 laps down, unfortunately, with Curtis Vollmer being shown 1 lap down, but up front, going green. Oh, the pace car is off, and DeFalco still holding the pace speed at 65 miles per hour. And the 1 of Robinson on his rear end, ready to push. Oh, the green flag is out, ladies and gentlemen, for the second time this time around. 25 laps in. Bobby Tinch on the outside line, left out high and dry, as Gary Woolbot was caught sleeping. But the 18 of Rick Donathan to the rescue of the 7 of Woolbot's rear end before turn 2. And Bobby Tinch so far trying to fall back in line, and by back in line I mean the inside line, which so far is the place to be. But look at that, he has some assistance from both the 65 of Marty Ray and the 28 of Chris Voiles. 2 drivers from 2 totally different teams, and 23 of Jim Kelly 3rd place on the inside line. And Chris Voiles now leading the outside line, slingshot engaged off turn 4, and most likely is going to lead this lap. Yep, new race leader right here. Chris Voiles goes down low. And 66 of Bobby Tinch is now going to take over the lead of the outside lane with the help of the 65 of Marty Ray. And looks like the damage on the 1 of Robinson is actually affecting that machine. And so far he's depending on the 23 of Jim Kelly and the 07 of DeFalco. The caution flies on lap 26.
As we pull up the Dre Broadcasting replay, I'm taking a look here. Oh, that's going to be the 40 of Joshua Gillen involved there. As he was riding in the back of the packet, see exactly what happened here. Is he was following. Oh, it just shot up into the outside wall, and unfortunately, Kerry Cleaver got a piece of that as well. Don't think too bad of damage, but Joshua Gillen able to get it around and get it back going.
Oh man, that's unfortunate. Yeah, looks like something might have happened. He might have had some difficulties there. 40 of Joshua Gillen that was, because he did not turn that wheel in the turn. That shot it way up the track into that wall. But very unfortunate for both drivers, and I do believe both drivers involved in this were had to use their backup trucks, their quick fixes during the last caution. But for their sakes, I hope I am wrong. But up front, 28 of Chris Voiles in the race lead, Bobby Tinch 2nd, Marty Ray 3rd, Christian DeFalco 4th, Garrett Robinson in the 5th place spot. And the driver in line for the lucky dog, driver who's happy to see this caution, 48 of Curtis Vollmer, should be back on the lead lap before too long. And a new viewer in the chat, we have Brandon Ketchum. Brandon Ketchum here for the 98. And Brandon Ketchum is a driver, well, one of our drivers in the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Pro K&N series. Hope you're doing well tonight, man. And great show last night. He's here for the 98, Dakota Craig, Joshua Gillen, 39 of Zachary Kreiser, 23 of Jim Kelly, and the 17 of Tommy Haynes, the Gillen Motorsports team.
Well, taking a look at our race report, though, we've had 2 cautions now, but we've had 11 lead changes already here tonight. So I have a feeling that's going to really skyrocket, especially once we get into these long green flag runs here, as we're on lap 27, 53 laps to go.
Oh, absolutely, man. Yep. With a track like this, Super Speedway, there's never a guaranteed race leader. So, yep, 11 now, and 1,000 more lead changes to come. And that 48 of Curtis Vollmer's promise, ladies and gentlemen, gets that wave around. The pace car is in this chase. This is a game changer for him. Well, he was running up front before the contact up front during the first caution, and is now back on the exact same path. But the only thing about this is that he will be all the way in the back of the pack. So he's going to have to work extra hard and be aggressive to get back up towards the front of the field. And drivers who went down pit road under the caution included Tommy Haynes, Dakota Craig, Ethan Kurtz, Garrett Helmlinger, Chris Thorman, including 49 of Timothy Hamlet, but everybody else stayed out. And status check on the 40 of Joshua Gillen. Joshua Gillen on pit road, getting the Kobe I Paints Chevy Silverado fixed. Yeah, that machine has seen better days, unfortunately. But hope his pit crew is fast enough or able enough to get that machine back up and running with enough speed to do more damage. And yes, he is now rolling off pit road as we speak. And here this far, Chris Voiles still in the lead, Bobby Tinch second, Christian DeFalco third, Marty Ray fourth, Garrett Robinson fifth, Gary Woobot sixth, Rick Donovan seventh, Jim Kelly eighth, Tyler Hallman 9th, and Jason Eisenhower in the 10th place position, rounding up the top 10 this far. And Jason Eisenhower running his regular machine, that is the simspeedshop.com paint scheme. And also, ladies and gentlemen, we have so many drivers out there running some paint schemes for great causes. The 4 of Brand Kuo included. The check.guess driver, drive for diabetes awareness.org. And also had a couple of drivers out there. I'm going to try and scan this field some more. And that is also the 11 of Ken Ladd with Epilepsy Foundation. And with the lights on the pace car still turned on, this gives us time to get a race interview in. So let's focus on one of the drivers here. Let's focus on the... trying to scan this field. Let's focus on the 98 of Dakota Craig. Well, ladies and gentlemen, joining us up here in the Dre Broadcasting booth is a Gillen Motorsports driver 98 of Dakota Craig, who is in this chase to win it. Gotta go up there, buddy.
Hey, man, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Doing pretty well at this point. Just trying to avoid wrecks and try to get to the front at the end.
Well, Dakota, that Kobe Eye Paints machine has definitely never looked better. The Toyota Tundra, and you did start in the 20th place spot, currently riding in the 19th place position. And Dakota, you have a lot of teammates to work with here tonight. But what are your plans for tonight's race with the way you've been seeing the handling and everyone's driving styles?
I'm just trying to stay calm, you know, don't put it in holes that I don't need to be.
Oh, indeed, man. That is all you can do, and great strategy indeed. And Dakota, we have some we have some expected green flag pit stops coming up here before too long. Do you have any strategies in mind when it comes to it?
I can't say a secret, man.
we respect that. 10-4. Well, buddy, stay alive. Congratulations on your success here this far this season. We look forward to seeing you get crowned as a new champion.
Yes, sir. Hope so. Thank you.
That was the Gillen Motorsports driver 98 of Dakota Craig. He has a lot of teammates. He has Tommy Haynes, Jim Kelly, including Joshua Gillen. There's a lot of teammates there to work with, but that will go out the window once they get past this race to go for that championship. Well, going back up front, we are back 1 to green, being led still by 28 of Chris Voiles with the help of the 07 of Christian DeFalco. On the outside line, 66 of Bobby Tinch with the help of 65 of Marty Ray. And Curtis Vummer got back on the lead lap, so now we have two drivers going to be racing hard for the lucky dog, namely Bryce Whitson Jr. and 69 of Kerry Cleaver, both 2 laps down, but they are the only drivers 1 or more laps down, so therefore they are eligible for the lucky dog if they are ahead of each other. The one who's ahead of the other will be eligible for the lucky dog if a caution comes out. So they are running 28th and 29th. So watch out for a battle between these two drivers. But as we speak, exiting turn 4. The pace car takes the hard left off the track. Oh, looks like the caution has been extended by race control. The pace car is out. 1 more pace lap. And I just now noticed this, but the 07 of Christian DeFalco's Toyota Tundra is also suffering from some front-end damage on it. Gonna see exactly how that plays out once we go back to green flag conditions. Same lineup this time around. And during the last 2 restarts, ladies and gentlemen, we noticed that the leaders chose to not jump the restarts. And that's because at a super speedway like Talladega or Daytona, if you jump a restart like that as a leader, you most likely, the chances of you becoming a sitting duck are very, very high. You could get freight trained in a hurry. So these drivers trying to play it safe. Better safe than sorry. And ladies and gentlemen, a special treat coming to you live from the Dre Broadcasting Network. That's right, the Crank It Up Cam. So please turn up your volume, turn up your sound. Crank It Up Cam coming up. Enjoy. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That was the Crank It Up Cam. That's right, the Crank It Up Cam, courtesy of the Dre Broadcasting Network with David Everly. Hope you guys enjoyed listening to these V8 machines roar and sing as one. And here up front, Bobby Tinch leading, Chris Voyle second, Christian DeFalco third, Garrett Robinson fourth, and Marty Ray rounding up the top five. And speaking of Marty Ray leading the outside line, trying to get the outside line to work with the help of the 7 of Gary Woobot. But so far, Gary Woobot is struggling to get up to his back bumper due to not having assistance that's close enough from the 36 of Jason Eisenhower. And some bad news, we have lost our first driver, unfortunately, the 69 of Kerry Cleaver, retiring early for the evening. But we look forward to seeing this driver back again next week at Chicagoland Speedway. And the front pack is coming up to a slower machine, a machine under speed. That's the 40, the 40 of Joshua Gillen. Yep, that damage is quite bad. And here the Kobe Eye Paints machine are gonna stay on this bottom lane until they get closer. Nope, he gets off the track to let them by. Great sportsmanship on the part of the 40 of Joshua Gillen as the pack zooms by him. And with the amount of damage on Joshua Gillen's machine, even if someone were to push him or if he were to be in the draft, that would not make too much of a difference. But here, going back up front, we have a 23 of Jim Kelly right behind the, that's going to be the 18. Actually, that's the 36 of Jason Eisenhower. We have a 10 of Bryce Whitson, Junior Bryce Whitson, first driver, 1 or more laps down. If you scratch that, Joshua Gillen just went 1 lap down, now being the first driver a lap down. But Bryce Whitson Jr. here on the outside line, trying to catch up to the 18 of Rick Donathan. And Rick Donathan getting very, very close to the rear end of the driver up front in front of him to get the outside line going. That is a 65 of Marty Ray. And the damaged machine, the 1 of Garrett Robinson, jumps up to the outside, but then goes back down low. So both the 1 of Robinson, including the 07 of Christian DeFalco, both drivers do have damage once again, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who might have forgotten. And as we speak, they are still doing quite well despite that. And here the 10 of Bryce Whitson being a helping hand, a helping bumper to the OSR network, the online sim racing network machine by Robinson. Well, ladies and gentlemen, with about 39 laps in and 42 laps remaining, we'll take this time to take our first commercial break of the evening. We'll be right back, so please stay tuned.
Don't let your first date be your last. Visit People Against Distracted Driving at PADD.org.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Fred's Pharmacy 250. That's the Fred's Pharmacy 250 Chase Race number 1 of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Camping World Truck Series by the Extreme Motorsports 99.com. Well, before we go into any other details, we have a caution here on the track. We had a lot of drivers get a piece of the action, and it was due to miscommunication, drivers pitting in while others were staying out. During a green flag pit stop cycle, we had 19 of Andy's charged to get a piece of the action. Adam Eisenhower got a piece of the action. Hunter McDaniel, Tommy Amassi, including 48 of Curtis Vollmer, Timothy Hamlet, Christian DeFalco, David White, Tyler Hallman, Chris Voice as well, Ken Ladd, Brent Cool. These guys all got a piece of the action. That could be classified as close to the big one. That's as close to the big one as the big one gets. But very unfortunate for every single driver involved. And pit road was a very, very busy place. Well, going back to the chase, ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder for those who might have just tuned in now. Some of the drivers who are locked into this chase, the road to the championship, the road to dethroning Tom Wetmore. That's going to include Hunter McDaniel, Curtis Vollmer, Tommy Haynes, Tyler Hallman, Bryce Whitson Jr., Cody McFadden, Rick Donathan, Bobby Tinch, Adam Eisenhower, Dakota Craig, Marty Ray, Tommy Amassi, including Gary Woolbot. And I'll repeat that again: Hunter McDaniel, Curtis Vollmer, Tommy Haynes, Tyler Hallman, Bryce Whitson Jr., Cody McFadden, Rick Donathan, Bobby Tinch, Adam Eisenhower, Dakota Craig, Marty Ray, Tommy Amassi, including Gary Woolbot. So these 13 drivers are racing on the road to the championship to try and become the new champions. Well, going back up front, new leader, the one of Garrett Robinson. Yes, Garrett Robinson in the lead with the help of Ethan Kurtz. Was Ethan Kurtz second? We have Rick Donathan third, Marty Ray fourth, and Garrett Helmlinger in the 5th place spot.
Yeah, we're under the halfway point to go. I think these guys may still have to pit one more time. We got 36 laps to go here tonight's race, so we'll have to see if these guys are going to have to pit one more time. So maybe a caution here in the next 10 laps. You'll see these guys come down pit road, and then we'll not have to go back down pit road anymore tonight.
Oh, indeed. And if this thing ends up going green all the way, that final pit stop, the final pit stop is going to be very, very important. So fingers crossed for that. These drivers having different strategies, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to it. When you have teammates out there, the strategy is very, very important. It's also when it comes to super speedways like this here tonight, Talladega, like Dakota Craig was talking about. He didn't want to share his secret, you know, because he has a different strategy compared to everybody else. And those strategies are pretty much them trying to outsmart their opponents. So you're going to see a lot of that come into play. So some drivers might decide to run the tanks dry, and sometimes might just pretty much follow the flow or follow the leaders up front when they go down pit road. And these drivers all try their best to avoid pitting in as the big pack of having, I don't know, 20 plus drivers, because that could be quite chaotic. So these drivers avoid that by all means. So they all try and break up in different packs and have their own teammates with them and pit it in packs of about maybe 4 to about 6-7 drivers maximum at one time. Well, here in the race, the drivers have come a long way. Rick Donathan from 16th to 4th, Marty Ray from 22nd to 5th, Garrett Helmlinger from 29th to 6th, Jim Kelly from 21st to 7th, Chris Thorman from 23rd to 9th, Andy Starcher from 24th to 10th, Cody McFadden from 26th to 12th, and Adam Eisenhower from 25th to 13th. And we are back 1 to green, ladies and gentlemen. And Garrett Robinson decided to not use his backup truck just yet. And that's a very good strategy on his part. Very smart, trying to save it for a rainy day, because that machine has been doing quite well. Even though he's had the damage for a very long time now. He's going to have the 18 of Rick Donathan right behind him on the inside line. On the outside line, new leader, the 2 of Ethan Kurtz, with the help of 65 of Marty Ray.
Taking a look at our halfway race point so far here. We've had 3 cautions here tonight, 18 lead changes, but we're going to have 34 laps to go at the drop of the green flag, so that number's going to raise here. Right now, Bryce Whitson Jr. has led the most laps with 12. Let's see if he is still 2 laps down. David White 1 lap down, so they got some work to do to get back on the lead lap.
Yeah, speaking of Bryce Whitson was going to get the lucky dog, but unfortunately the caution ended up coming out while he was going down pit road. So that ended up voiding his chance of getting that lucky dog. And yep, 18 lead changes this far, 7 more than the last time we checked there early on in the race, and a lot more lead changes to come, ladies and gentlemen. We have crossed the halfway mark like David talked about, so make sure you refill that popcorn. Hope you had enough time to refill those drinks, enough to last the remainder of the way. So buckle up your seatbelts, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be quite the ride. A lot more battling to come. And that pace car is off. Garrett Robinson still holding pace speed. And the pushers here, 18 of Rick Donathan and the 65 of Marty Ray, trying to get close to the drivers in front of them. The green flag is out. Garrett Robinson here has found that gas pedal, but the outside line driver Ethan Kurtz gets a better start than he did and leads a big nose entering turn number 1, and Marty Ray to the rescue of the 2 of Ethan Kurtz. Slingshot just might be engaged, but these drivers on the exit of turn 2 are still getting up to speed, so maybe not. 18 of Rick Donathan in turn and now catching up the rear end of the 1 of Garrett Robinson and gives him a bump to life on the backstretch.
I don't know. I mean, looking at that front end there, Garrett Robinson, he has got some heavy damage on that front end. Not where you want to be in the front. That is going to slow that bottom lane down with that damage. So I think Rick Donovan and them is going to have to figure out a way to get around him, because trying to push him with that front end damage is just going to slow that bottom lane down.
You know, Dave, I'm glad you talked about, you mentioned that, and, you know, thinking about it now, looking back, Garrett Robinson was able to keep up the pace the way he has been this far up front with that damage, because he was not the lead truck the whole time. But yep, this is now a game changer. But the two of Ethan Kurtz here on the outside line still trying to get the race lead away from Garrett Robinson, and Slingshot engaged with the help of 65 of Marty Ray. So far a 2-track push on the outside line, 3-track push on the inside line, 9-0 of Garrett Helmlinger here in this mix. We have Marty Ray, Hunter McDaniel, and Hunter McDaniel got a piece of the action as well during the last caution while going down pit road, well, during the green flag cycle. And that machine is a little bit damaged, but still enough to get the job done. And Hunter McDaniel has 23 of Jim Kelly right behind him, who in turn is beside the 19 of Andy Starcher. Another chase driver we haven't spoken much of here tonight, 64 of Cody McFadden, one of the brightest machines out there. He is riding right behind the 19 of Andy Starcher, and 23 of Jim Kelly jumps back down low. Looks like he was losing the draft of Hunter McDaniel, or just chose to get back down there to just back it up and start riding. And now beside him he has 71 of Chris Thorman. I haven't spoken much of Chris Thorman, but he is an amazing driver. He runs here in the Truck Series with Extreme, at the same time the Road Series with the Extreme Motorsports 99 on Monday nights. He is now ahead of 77 of Tyler Holman, another chase driver. Yeah, seems like the inside line is the place to be so far, ladies and gentlemen. Seems like everyone is just backing off the outside. Well, besides the two drivers on that outside line, two of Ethan Kurtz and Marty Ray, everybody else behind them are just pretty much spread out. More trucks on the inside than the outside, and Ethan Kurtz was able to lead quite the nose ahead against Garrett Robinson. But looks like off turn 4, yep, Slingshot engaged. And this time around, Ethan Kurtz should take over the race lead.
Yeah, I mean, the thing of it is, you'd think that bottom lane would be pulling away and leaving those two up on top. But it's like I said, Garrett Robinson's got that damage on the front end of that car. That's actually slowing down that bottom lane, not letting them get that run there, even though they have like 5 or 6 trucks down on that bottom. So, I mean, unfortunately, if Rick Donovan, I tell you, if I was in his spot, if I got a chance, I'd be jumping up in front of that too, trying to give an extra push to that outside lane.
Oh, indeed, and man, you've got to give it to Rick. He's quite the pusher, because he's kept the momentum of the inside lane very, very high, despite the little bit of a negative effect there in front of him. But great sportsmanship here so far. When it comes down to it, the two of Ethan Kurtz, his pusher is now struggling to keep up because he's trying to cool that motor at the same time, control the pace of the outside line, or I should say, keep the two of Ethan Kurtz in that race lead as long as it possibly can. And thinking about the damage of Garrett Robinson, in this case, it's actually helping Rick Donovan and the momentum of the inside. Because with that damage he has, it's he's slow enough to a point where Rick Donovan can stay glued to his back bumper. But once Rick Donovan starts overheating, like you see right now, he's backing off. That machine is overheating, so he's backing off, and the momentum of the inside is now slowing down drastically due to the damage once again kicking in from Garrett Robinson on the outside line, now getting more bunched up than ever before. 23 of Jim Kelly, 57 Hunter McDaniel have caught up on the outside.
Yeah, and take a look who's back up in the mix here. The 11 of Ken Ladd. He's up here right behind, that looks like the 57 machine there of Hunter McDaniel. So he's back up here in this mix, as it looks like we've got Bobby Tinch there and the 71 of Chris Stormer. We got 14 cars in this lead pack.
Yeah, 14 cars in the lead pack, and Dave, we have some drivers working together in a little bit of a second pack. Not really a second pack, they are about 5 to 8 tenths of a second behind the lead pack, namely the 10 of Bryce Whitson, including the 4 of Brent Kuo. These drivers are working together, and both machines for a great cause. We have once again 4 of Brent Kuo, Drive for Diabetes Awareness, drivefordiabetesawareness.org, check, don't guess, and the Leukemia Lymphoma Society by the 10 of Bryce Whitson Jr. Big run by Bryce. Oh, he's gonna shake up. Yes, he backs. Oh, they make contact. Oh man, that could have been ugly, could have been deadly. Nice save, but momentum has been lost by the drivers. And they had a second pack now catch up to them, and the pack was being led by the 81 of Travis Pryor. Travis Pryor got a piece of the action during the last caution, but decided to get his brand new Toyota Tundra, the Top Gun motorcycle, the Top Gun Toyota Tundra out, and is now here back in the 18th place behind Brent Quill. And behind him we have Adam Eisenhower, 17 of Tommy Haynes, 49 of Timothy Hamlet, Gary Woolbart, Christian DeFalco, 59 of David White, 77 of Tyler Harmon, 48 of Curtis Vollmer, and the 36 of Jason Eisenhower. And the 40 of Joshua Gillen, their status check, he is pulling 175 miles per hour on his own. Surprisingly, only 1 to 2 miles per hour off. If he had a good truck, I should say, a brand new machine, not a single scratch on it. So maybe I was wrong about him being pushed and being in the draft and not making a difference. So maybe if he's lucky enough, he'll be able to tag on to some draft once the leaders catch up to him and get around him, because he is now being shown about 35 seconds behind the leaders, the lead pack. But going back up front, some 3 wide, Marty Ray on the outside line. 57 Hunter McDaniel does leave him high and dry, but not to worry. One more driver coming to the rescue, 66 of Bobby Tinch. Yep, Marty Ray, Bobby Tinch here, still 3 wide on the outside line. They are trying their best to get as close as they can to the middle lane. Safe enough to stay out of trouble, but that's actually safe enough, or good enough, to cover way less distance compared to the outside where they currently are, because the higher up on the track you are, ladies and gentlemen, the more distance you cover. Therefore, if you're carrying that much speed, as you see right now, Marty Ray is losing so much time as a result. He will go to the back of the pack in no time. But 81 of Travis Pryor to the rescue. But still, Marty Ray has lost quite a few spots.
Yeah, I tell you though, I mean, you got to look at it. We've got 24 laps to go, which means these guys are in the pit window. They can make that pit, get that final pit stop. They're about 14 laps on their tires, 13, 14 laps right now. So the question is, when are we going to start seeing some of the green flag pit stops here with 24 laps to go?
And ladies and gentlemen, for this final pit stop coming up, these drivers will be seeing a lot of them getting together with their teammates or drivers they stuck with all race long here this far to try and be together once they go down pit road, because we talked about once again how they do not want to pit in as a big pack. Imagine 20 drivers going down pit road at the exact same time. That most likely would not have a pretty ending, but we are about to find out exactly how these things play out. But on the inside here, Rick Donovan in the lead with Garrett Robinson now pushing on his rear end, but the 2 of Ethan Kurtz still leading the outside line with Hunter McDaniel right behind him. And seems like Hunter McDaniel's damage on the front has increased a little bit from the last time we checked on him. So it looks like he might have given someone too hard of a bump. And the leaders up front get around the 4-0 of Joshua Gillen. Hopefully he's able to tag along. Yep, his speed just went all the way from 174 to 181 and climbing. That's a very, very good sign. If he's lucky enough, he'll be able to get picked up. Yes, he has a driver approaching his rear end. That's 77 of Tyler Holman. Yep, Joshua Gillen now pushing 190 miles per hour, entering turn number 3. And Tyler Holman coming up to his rear end, bringing the 48 of Curtis Vollmer with him. And that's one thing we like about these drivers working together. Here he's going to tag along. He is up to speed. That's a very good thing. You know, despite his damage, they are still willing to work with him. But here going back up front, we have the 10 of Bryce Whitson and the 4 of Brent Quill still sticking together. And they stay in that middle lane, drafting off 65 of Marty Ray. We have 17 Tommy Haynes, 81 of Travis Pryor. And now 21 laps remaining in tonight's race. And these drivers have run all the way from about 17 to 20 laps on their tires and tanks. Look at that, Dave. The outside line is starting to die. Everybody going down to the inside line. And that once again means only one thing. So green flag pit stops, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody going to the inside because they are preparing to pit in. There's no way you can pit in from the outside when you're in the middle lane or the outside line. And unless the inside driver or this driver on your inside is pitting in as well, then you can do that. But if not, you will end up causing the biggest wreck known to mankind. And so far on the outside line, the 2 of Ethan Kurtz, high and dry, is trying to let someone let him in. But so far having no luck side by side with the 57 Hunter McDaniel and 98 of Dakota Craig. Drivers peeling off, going down pit road. And those drivers include Rick Donathan, the previous race leader, Cody McFadden, Ken Ladd, Marty Ray, Travis Pryor, Adam Eisenhower, and Jason Eisenhower down pit road.
Yeah, it looks like we had a couple come in a little too hot and heavy, got into the grass there. As this group is making their way down on pit road, that's going to hand that race lead. I think it's going to hand it over. Yeah, it's going to hand that over to the 1 of Garrett Robinson, as he is now leading another pack here. But these guys are going to have to pit, so are they going to come down this time, or are they going to stay out here?
Yeah, we're about to find out here, exiting turn 4 as we speak. Garrett Robinson going out one more lap. Yes, that speed stays consistent and increasing, actually. But some drivers behind him peeling off in quite the pack. Can I read off these names? We have Tommy M. Massey, Ethan Kurtz, Chris Voiles, Dakota Craig, Chris Thorman, Brent Kuel, Tommy Haynes, Gary Woobot, including Christian DeFalco, all going down pit road. And something happened there. You talked about, Dave, how some drivers went down pit road way too hot. And Rick Donathan had a 21.7 second pit stop. That is not good.
Probably just had to fix a little bit of damage. I mean, he's still in a good position here. Once he can get up to speed and get into this pack here, so it'll be interesting to see how this is going to play out.
Indeed, yep. He actually got overtaken by the new leader there, the 1 of Garrett Robinson. And Garrett Robinson there up front going down pit road this time around as we speak. The 90, Garrett Hamlinger, goes down with him. Bobby Tinch, Timothy Hamlet, Tyler Hallman, and Curtis Vollmer all pitting in. In the chat, we have Justin Levine. Justin Levine, it's been way too long, brother. Way too long. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Hope you're doing well. And Garrett Robinson, Dave, his damaged days are over, or damaged truck days are over. He gets that brand new machine, his only quick fix or backup truck, and off pit road he goes. Coming out behind him is Bobby Tinch, Garrett Helmlinger in line, Timothy Hamlet in line as well. The 2 of Ethan Kurtz being pushed by the 28 of Chris Voiles here as we speak.
Yeah, as they're trying to get around, I mean, they got a bunch of cars here coming off of pit roads, so to see if they can get around them here is they're trying to take over the race lead. But right now our race leader is going to be the 23 of Jim Kelly, who has got 22 laps since his last pit stall. He did not pit, so he is going to have to come down pit road here. So he's got a little bit of work here to do, because I'm not seeing anybody else that needs a pit, which means he's got to come down pit road by himself.
Oh man, that is never ever a good thing. Hopefully it works out for him. He is going around. No, he's pitting in this time by as we speak. In that oh, he's going way too hard. He's gonna speed. Yes, he speeds. He spins out, hits the wall. Oh man, he smacks it with his left side. So speeding and a lot more time lost with a smack of the wall.
Well, with the green flag pit stops, though, this is kind of shaking some things up here. Right now in second place is going to be the one of Garrett Robinson, as they are now coming into turns 3 and 4. Got Garrett Robinson, Bobby Tinch, Garrett Helmlinger's there, Timothy Hamlet, Ethan Kurtz, Chris Boyle's there, Tom Yamasi's right back there, Brent Cole, Tommy Haynes, and Dakota Craig as well.
Yep, those green flag pit stops, man, they definitely changed things up. And ladies and gentlemen, with the 15 laps remaining in tonight's race, we take our final commercial break of the evening. We'll be back, so please stay tuned.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Extreme Motorsports here on Dre Broadcasting Network. as we are back live here with 11 laps left to go here at Talladega.
Yeah, with the two of Ethan Kurtz in the race lead, on the outside line being pushed by the one of Garrett Robinson, Bobby Tinch on the inside, 28 of Chris Voiles, the 90 of Garrett Helmlinger. We have the 10 of Bryce Whitson Jr. and Bryce Whitson goes high. The third lane is at work, 05 of Tommy Amasi right behind him. Yep, 10 laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. It is go time. This is the time to find fifth gear. Oh, the teamwork will be out the window as soon as that white flag flies. So we are getting there. The time when those hearts will get broken, the friendships will be unformed. With Hunter McDaniel going off the track there, entering turn 1. Bobby Tinch is now in the lead still, with Chris Voiles on his rear end as they approach small lap machines, laps traffic. You have a driver here who is way off the pace, not really way off the pace, but he is losing the draft of the lead pack. 17 of Tommy Haynes. Tommy Haynes trying to play catch up. Yes, looks like 59 of David White is a little bit off the speed of the lead pack, enough for Tommy Haynes to catch up to that draft and get back to the back bumper of him before too long. Hit his go time once again.
Yeah, just 8 laps to go. Here's the thing, though. We all know lap 80 is the race, but lap 75, though, just here in 3 laps, yellow flag comes out after that. That's going to end the race, Sean.
Absolutely, man. Yep. These drivers are going to be trying to be at the right place at the right time, or I should say the best spot they can be if that caution were to come out. So a lot of... Oh, David White goes spinning sideways. Tommy Haynes as well spinning, and the caution flies this time around.
Well, let's go back to the Dre broadcast and replay. Take a look here, focusing on the 59 of David White for our 4th caution of the night here at Talladega. Looks like you see them riding there. As Bryce Whitson Jr. tries to go on the outside there. David White looks like maybe a bad bump there. Let's see if we can get a better look at that here. As we're going to rewind that back and see if we can get a better look here. As it looks like, yeah, just a bad bump there is what got him bent out of shape a little bit. Up into the outside wall, and he went spinning. So real unfortunate, real good run there for the 59 of David White.
Oh man, indeed. And Tommy Haynes as well, getting some heavy damage from that at the same time. Hope these two drivers still have their only backup trucks, the quick fixes, so they can be able to get back out there and finish this race nice and strong. And Chris Voiles up front, still in the lead. Well, his new leader, Bobby Tinch 2nd, Ethan Kurtz 3rd, Tommy Amasi 4th, and Timothy Hamlet rounding up the top 5. And with less than 10 laps to go, nobody who has a clean machine is gonna pit in. Maybe I was wrong. Oh, nope, Chris Voiles is faking him. Yep, he stays out and maintains the race lead. But the 07 of Christian DeFalco going down pit road as we speak. He was in 17th before he went down pit road, and the machine has seen better days. So he's most likely going down pit road to get some of that damage fixed. And the driver in line for the Lucky Dogs 23 of Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly gets the wave around the pace car back on the lead lap here with about 5 laps remaining once we go the next time around. So 6 laps remaining this time. Yeah, if you guys remember correctly, ladies and gentlemen, Jim Kelly was a driver who came in on down pit road way too hot and spun out and smacked the wall as a result, and had to serve a penalty, 15-second penalty for speeding on pit road. But is now back on the lead lap. Good to see that he still had his backup truck handy, so he was able to whip that thing out and end this race nice and strong with it. Back on the lead lap once again. Congratulations. In the top 5 are as follows. Top 10 actually. Chris Voiles, Bobby Tinch, Ethan Kurtz, Timothy Hamlet, Tommy M. Massey, Garrett Robinson, Brent Kuhl, Garrett Helmlinger, Adam Eisenhower, and Rick Donathan. Top 10. And down pit road, I see 77 of Tyler Hallman, including the 81 of Travis Pryor. And both drivers, Travis Pryor's machine is actually not running with some heavy damage on it, unfortunately. But Tyler Hallman is now rolling off pit road as we speak.
Well, Sean, once we take the green flag, though, you got to remember, next flag will end the race once we take the green flag.
Oh, yep, great reminder. Next flag ends the race. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, it is 5th gear time and maybe 6th for some drivers out there. The friendship thing or the teamwork, teammates will be thrown out the window once the white flag flies. So be sure to buckle those seatbelts on as usual. 3 to 4 seatbelts should be enough. Less than that, most likely not. So be sure for this. Be sure to be prepared for this bumpy ride coming up. And up front, the pace lights are still on, which means we are 2 to green. Next time around, we should be back 1 to green. So looks like we're going to be having a 3-lap shootout to the end. And so far, ladies and gentlemen, here this far the heaviest movers: Bobby Tinch from 11th place to 2nd, Timothy Hamlet 27th to 4th, Tommy M. Massey from 18th to 5th. We have Brent Kuhl from 19th to 7th, Garrett Helmlinger from 29th to 8th, that's Garrett Helmlinger, Adam Eisenhower from 25th to 9th, Rick Donathan 16th to 10th, Marty Ray 22nd to 11th, Cody McFadden 26th to 12th, and Chris Thorman from 23rd to 13th. The 98 of Dakota Craig here currently in the 15th place spot, behind 36 of Jason Eisenhower, and Jason has the 71 of Chris Thorman with him, or ahead of him, in that Pro Forma Chevy Silverado. And ladies and gentlemen, for the new viewers out there, welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network. The existing and returning viewers, welcome back to the Dre Broadcasting Network. We are glad to have you all. And for those who would like to be a part of the action, ladies and gentlemen, the new viewers just now tuned in might not have heard this early on, but the Extreme Motorsports 99.com seasons are coming to an end. So with that said, sign-ups are opening. So if you guys would like to be a part of the action if you see yourself driving one of these machines either on Monday nights in the Pro K&N series or the Road series on Tuesday nights, the Truck series on Wednesday nights, Xfinity series, or Thursday nights, Cup series. Be sure to check them out at extrememotorsports99.com. Drop the first E in Extreme. That's drop the first E in Extreme and start with the X, extrememotorsports99.com. And the Drive Broadcasting Network covers both the Pro K&N series on Monday nights and the Truck series on Tuesday nights with Extreme Motorsports, while Joe White on the Online Sim Racing Network, that is Online Sim Racing Network here on YouTube, covers the Extreme Motorsports 99 Xfinity series and the Cup series as well. So you guys check out Joe White Online Sim Racing Network on YouTube, and they will be also having a chase tomorrow, chase race number 1 in the Xfinity series right here at Talladega Superspeedway. So be sure to tune in.
Well, we got 3-lap shootout coming out as they are coming into turns 3 and 4. 3-lap shootout. Next flag ends the race. Currently being led by the 28 of Chris Boyles, Bobby Tench on the outside, Ethan Kurtz bottom second row, and I think that's Bobby Tench second on the out, or no, that's going to be the 49 of Timothy Hamlet second on the outside row. So we're going to have a little bit of a battle, still a crapshoot. Anybody can win this in the next 3 laps.
The gloves are off, ladies and gentlemen. 100% take and 0% give as that pace car dips off. Everybody gets more bunched up than ever before. This is a crucial time, a very important time. The restart is important here as we speak. And Chris Voiles here feeling the pressure of the rear end from everybody. And the green flag is out. The 28 of Chris Voiles was caught slipping a little bit, but 2 of Ethan Kurtz to the rescue, give him a bump to life. But outside line, Bobby Tinch, 49 of Timothy Hamlet, nose to tail as the 1 of Robinson tries to catch up. 05 Tommy and Massey, 3rd place on the inside line with the help of the 4 of Brent Cool. Oh man, a lot of drivers changing these lanes. They are trying to be up front, in the front, the 4 wide up front. Oh, they're wrecking. Yes, the big wreck up front. The caution flies, ending the race.
Oh man, we are going to have to go back to the blimp and watch that one. That one was a big wreck. A lot of trucks involved. Let's see. I don't know who made that through is going to come away with that win, but let's take a look at this replay here. These trucks were shuffling to go into lanes. We even saw some 4 wide there. I think that's going to, yep, there we go, 4 wide. Oh, a bad hook between the 4 and another truck, and a lot of trucks involved. Rick Donovan going fully airborne there. Wow, that's huge. And that is going to give the win to the 49 of Timothy Hamlet.
Oh man, what a heck of a drive on the driver's parts. That was some awesome 4 wide. Those drivers ran out of room, unfortunately. And that is a sudden turn of events for a lot of drivers. And we can most likely classify that as the biggest wreck we've seen tonight. Yep, that was the big one. And Joe talked about it last night. It's about when it happens, not if it happens, but when the big one happens. And we saw it right there with 2 laps to go, 3 laps remaining. Oh man, a lot of drivers very, very unhappy. But good thing they still have another race next week coming up. Chase Race 2, Chicagoland Speedway. Well, going back up front, congrats to 49 of Timothy Hamlet. But these results are still unofficial. So Timothy Hamlet, Ethan Kurtz 2nd, Garrett Robinson 3rd, Garrett Helmlinger 4th, Dakota Craig 5th. And so far, rounding up the top 5, the white flag coming up. And I try and scan this field and see the drivers that actually made it with no damage. So Timothy Hamlet, Ethan Kurtz, Garrett Robinson, Garrett Helmlinger, Dakota Craig. Dakota still has some damage on the front end of it. We have Tyler Hallman, 11 of Ken Ladd. Ken Ladd gets the wave around the pace car, gets the lucky dog, and back on the lead lap on the white flag. Congrats. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we set it up here. It was going to be a wild one, and I am glad that every single one of you was able to put on all those 3 to 4 seatbelts and to hang on tight. And here in tonight's race, Timothy Hamlet smiling at a very, very high rate from ear to ear, like most people would like to say it, having the first win of the Chase Series here tonight at Talladega. And we have one driver smoking up the track, heavy smoke from the rear end. That is the 7 of Gary Woolbot. Gary Woolbot determined to bring this machine home despite the smoke from the rear end. He is driving on the apron to avoid blinding everybody behind him, because that is quite dark, the smoke that is. He is right behind the 98 of Dakota Craig and ahead of the 77 of Tyler Holman. Yep, great race indeed, ladies and gentlemen. We are glad that you guys were able to join us tonight for Chase race number 1, the Fred's Pharmacy 250. That's the Fred's Pharmacy 250 Chase race 1, ExtremeMotorsports99.com Truck Series. Well, exiting turn 4 for the final time, this time around, the 49 of Timothy Hamlet gonna bring this thing home at pace speed, 65 mph miles per hour. Ethan Kurtz second, Garrett Robinson third, Garrett Helmlinger fourth, Dakota Craig fifth, and Tyler Holman in the 6th place spot. Christian DeFalco 7th, Chris Thorman 8th, Chris Voyos 9th, and Gary Woolbot in the 10th place spot. Actually, that just changed the official results. Timothy Hamlet won tonight's race still. Ethan Kurtz second, Garrett Robinson third, Garrett Helmlinger fourth, Dakota Craig fifth, Gary Woolbot sixth, Tyler Holman seventh, Christian DeFalco eighth, Chris Thorman ninth, and Tommy Haynes in the 10th place position. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be interviewing the top 3 drivers: Timothy Hamlet, Ethan Kurtz, Garrett Robinson, and a special guest, so please stay tuned. Well, ladies and gentlemen, joining us up here in the Dre Broadcasting booth are the top 3 drivers and a special guest: Timothy Hamlet, Ethan Kurtz, Garrett Robinson, including our special guest here tonight, 77 of Tyler Holman. We're going to start here tonight with tonight's race winner, winning the first race of the Chase, Timothy Hamlet. It's going to cut up there, buddy.
I do. How you doing, Sean?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Well, buddy, you come a long way tonight from 27th to first, gaining 26 spots overall. How are you feeling after quite a hectic race?
It was pretty hectic out there. First portion of it, I thought we laid back a little too far, and then towards the end, got a caution, and were able to keep up there, keep up with the pack, and just things fell our way.
And towards the very end there, Timothy, when you guys were 4 wide like that, what was going on through your mind?
Go. That was in my mind. Just get to the front.
By the sounds of it and the looks of it, that worked out well indeed. And congratulations on your first win, or your win here tonight, winning the first race in the chase. That is very commendable. 26 spots gained all race long. Well, Tim, before you go celebrate, any final words?
Yeah, I want to thank everybody out here. You know, all the admins letting me come into the truck series. Special thanks goes out to the 1 and the 90 working with me there at the end. We're working well all night, and just everybody in the league here is keeping doing out there and doing what we need to do. Hopefully, put on a good show for everybody, and I had a blast.
Well, congrats on your win here tonight, and see you again next week at Chicagoland. Go celebrate.
Thanks, sir.
That was tonight's race winner 49 of Timothy Hamlet. Next in line is last week's second place finisher 2 of Ethan Kurtz. Gotta go up there, buddy.
Yes, sir.
How did tonight?
I'm pretty much what I said last week. It would have been a little bit better if we had been one spot further up, but happy to take a second place home out of Talladega.
Oh, absolutely, man. You know, it was a heck of a race all race long, man. So much competition going on, so many lead changes. And Ethan, you performed some excellent green flag pit stops when coming down pit road, knowing that some drivers were coming down with you guys, and knowing that if any of them made a mistake, it could wipe you out. How are you feeling going down like that?
I was actually pretty nervous. I was by myself in TeamSpeak. I really had nobody that I knew was going to pit with me. So I tried to guess when other people were going to pit, and just went with them, and it worked out. It worked out well for me. It looked like I felt like I out people going on to pit road, and I'd always come out the pit road in front of them, so I wouldn't have to worry about it. But pit road wasn't as dangerous as I thought it would have been. But obviously, it's such a big track, and at such fast speeds, getting down to pit road is definitely an issue.
Oh, absolutely, man. Well, congrats on your success here tonight, and also, most importantly, congratulations on your pole sitting here tonight. Oh, you did qualify on the pole, and that was very commendable. And once again, great race. Well, before you go celebrating, final words.
Yeah, thanks to KeepBanging.com for being on the truck with Charles Cook, TJ Maxx, Marshalls, Code 3 Associates, and ZXT Chevrolet. Sherwin-Williams, Caldwell Banker with Michelle Wilson, Stephanie, my friend Stephanie was out watching there tonight, my Aunt Karen was out watching there. Appreciate them for supporting, and like I said, Chevrolet, Extreme for putting on the great races, y'all for putting on the broadcast, and everybody else that helps support and make this 2-track run fast.
Well, congrats on your success once again here tonight. Last week second, this week second, and next week first. Congrats, buddy. Go celebrate.
Thank you.
That was the 2 of Ethan Kurtz finishing in second place, but next in line is the 1 of Garrett Robinson. Got a go up there, Garrett?
Yes, sir, I do.
How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good after this race.
I can only imagine. And great race on your part. And Garrett, early on, you sustained some front-end damage that seems to have been with you pretty much for more than half the race. How did you feel the handling changed with the damage?
Well, whenever I was trying to push the 18, I couldn't really suck up to him like I could earlier in the race. So I think it hurt the truck where I couldn't suck up to the other cars a little bit.
Oh man, indeed. And when it came down to it, you know, knowing that you had damage like that, at one point you were in clean air with your damage. What was going through your mind, knowing that any time someone would get out of line to get away from you because of your damage?
Yeah, after a few people got by me. I don't know if it was because of the damage or what, but a few people got by me on the outside, so.
Yeah, but great race on your part, man. You held your own here tonight. Started 7th and finishing in 3rd place, gaining 4 spots overall and staying alive. The most important thing. Well, before we let you go celebrating, final words.
I just want to thank Flag Norfell for being on the truck. And thank y'all for broadcasting, and thank everybody at Extreme for putting this on. And I want to thank Tim Hamlet and Garrett Helmlinger for helping me out the race.
Well, congrats on the success, buddy, and see you again next week at Chicagoland. Go celebrate.
Alright, thanks.
That was Garrett Helmlinger, Garrett Robinson, finishing in 3rd place. But next in line is our special guest, 77 of Tyler Hallman. Gotta go up there, buddy.
Yes, sir.
Well, buddy, first of all, congratulations on being one of the drivers on the road or the path to the championship, being locked into the chase. How are you feeling tonight?
I'm still catching my breath, to be honest.
Oh, man, I can only imagine. And how do you feel this race has basically, actually, let me ask this question before that. How were you feeling coming to turn 3 after you saw the 4-wide action up front?
My truck was a little down on power from an incident that happened actually after the caution came out. Someone got into the rear end of the truck, so it was a little banged up, so my aero package was a little off. So really, I was just happy to catch a draft there, and I was hoping to maybe be able to make a move and just gain a couple spots. I was actually running, I think, 19th coming into that turn, and when I saw the smoke, I did the best I could to lock them up without getting it sideways. And I don't know, if you guys want some entertainment, watch my cockpit view of going down there, man. I had to drive all the way through the grass. A car was maybe 2 inches from my bumper. I can't believe I made it through to finish where I did.
Oh man, well, it's very commendable that you were very determined to get around that wreck unharmed, and a great race on your part here tonight, keeping it low, making the right moves at the right time, and ending up being beneficial in the long run. And after tonight's race, Tyler, do you feel that you've set yourself up well enough for the rest of the chase?
It's kind of hard to tell this early, but you got to say, you know, when you look at as the race, you know, I'm working with my teammate Bobby Tinch and an ally tonight, Curtis Vollmer. We all were working together and really looking at who else was in the chase and where they were on the track, and really just, you know, do we really need to push it? Because it was just so risky to go 3 wide. You know, we pulled it off commendably for a while. I was actually pretty happy with how well everyone was holding their lines, but just really stressful when that happens, and with how the points are going to be important for all of us. I just was doing the best I could to keep an eye on where all the rest of the points racers were. So coming out in 7th, and I think only 1 or maybe 2 guys finished ahead of me in the chase tonight, so really can't complain.
Oh man, well, congrats on your success here tonight. Despite a lot of pressure throughout the whole entire track all race long, you were able to push through that and be successful tonight for the chase. Well, buddy, we look forward to seeing you again next week at Chicagoland. And any final words before you go celebrate?
I just want to thank you guys, Dre Broadcasting, putting it on. Really love that you guys do it. I like being able to watch the replays, see what I did wrong, see what I did right. Like that, you guys stream it. It's awesome. I got friends that watch. Shout out to the whole Watt Racing family. Shout out to a couple guys at work that watch, and supporting my family that watch me. So really appreciate you guys, and just want to thank my teammates as well for helping me out with some strategy tonight.
Well, once again, buddy, congratulations, and see you again next week. Go celebrate.
Yes, sir. Thanks. Bye.
Special guest right there, 77 of Tyler Hallman here in the chase, the road to the championship to dethrone Tom Wetmore. So that was Tyler Hallman, Timothy Hamlet, Ethan Kurtz, and Garrett Robinson. Chase race number 1, the Fred's Pharmacy 250. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you very, very much for being a part of the action here tonight. And also be sure to be there tomorrow night with the Xfinity Series Chase race number 1 right here at Talladega Super Speedway. And the next race here, Chase race number 2, is next Tuesday, thehouse.com 225. That's thehouse.com 225 at Chicagoland Speedway. Not as much teamwork, not as much draft that's going to be needed to be successful there at Chicagoland. So that's going to be a driver's track, basically, and that's going to be a whole totally different beast for all these drivers to tackle. Oh, Dave, any thoughts?
It was a great race, great way to start the chase. Just looking forward to see how this is going to play out.
And I am Sean Zulu, ladies and gentlemen. And for the new viewers out there, here with David Everly, thank you for tuning in tonight. As usual, we can never thank you guys enough. We saw there Mikey Riddle tuning in. Welcome back, Mikey. It has been a while, but actually it hasn't been too long, but saw you on Saturday. It is good to see you again. And Harrison 907, welcome back as well. Hope you guys are doing well. We are now closing off. Thank you very much for everything, ladies and gentlemen. And see you again next week for Chase race number 2. But the next broadcast with the Dre Broadcasting Network is going to be on Saturday night. The Roaring Thunder Racing League Verizon IndyCar Series on Saturday night. And the next broadcast catches with the Online Sim Racing Network, Joe White and David Everly tomorrow night in the booth. The Chase Race 1, the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Xfinity Series. I am Sean Zulu. and David Everly behind the cameras. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.